I'm Sharon, and I made an RV oops.
Hi, Sharon.
We were traveling and had been on the road a couple of days and pulled into a state park in Alabama. It's the highest elevation in Alabama. We knew that we were going just north of Atlanta to a park where we would only have water and electric hookups. So we wanted to make the most of our time there. Mylena took a nice long hot shower that night. I took a nice long hot shower the next morning, and we made sure all the dishes were clean so that we could empty our tanks while we had full hookups and be ready for several days with just water and electric. Now, I'm from Texas. What do I know about mountains? I go out the next day, and the next morning we're getting ready to leave. Fortunately, we had not unhitched the truck. We were only staying there overnight, and we had a beautiful campsite, but it was very, very narrow. And so we looked at the site. It was supposed to be a pull-through site, and I decided that it was level left to right, and to get it where we were most level front to back, I had to stay back down in the site just a little bit. And so on the passenger side of the site, there was a pretty steep hill. And so I just decided the next morning when we finished, I'd just back out and we'd be on the road. Wouldn't have to try and get through that very, very narrow site that we had. So I go out, hook up, ready to drain all of our tanks, so we'll be fresh and ready to spend 5 nights at a Corps of Engineer park. I get everything hooked up. It's all perfect. I connect the sewer hose. I put it in the drain. I make sure everything's just right. I pull the black tank, and it flows until it doesn't. Now, the hookup was a bit away because I knew we had extra electric, we had extra water, we had extra sewer cable. I wasn't worried about the distance. So now I've got a 20-foot hose, and as I look at the sewer drain, I realize the sewer drain is slightly higher than where I have pulled the plug. Folks, that's a bell you cannot unring. And so my nice fresh shower, I'm starting to sweat. I'm thinking, how do we, I'm trying to think logically and not panic, but that's hard to do. So finally, I go in and tell Mylena, Houston, we have a problem. And what I had to do was, I started the truck and moved it about 6 inches forward. Then we had to lift the hose and try and move it forward. And I moved another 6 inches, and we lifted the hose and moved it forward. And did that until we had moved far enough that where we're letting water out is equal to or just slightly higher, but still the hose goes down. So then we played with the nastiest slinky you ever want to play with. We had to lift one end and let that drain down, and then Mylena lifted her end, and then we heard it drop down into the drain, and then we'd repeat the process, and just until we got that black tank completely empty. Then we did close it, moved the truck forward a little bit, but we ended up not rinsing the black tank nearly as much as we usually do, and finally got everything rinsed, everything cleaned, and decided, hey, I might as well go in and pull through this bad boy. We had to move the picnic table and stuff over so we could get through, but my RV oops was the lesson I learned: you can't fight gravity. Thanks for watching. Two Tired Teachers.